Hey everybody, Anthony for Before Diesel. Just going to do the quickest, most simple, straightforward video, putting a Rola Titan tray together. This is the 1200 by 1800. I think it's the most usable size, particularly on the Prado. This is a Mark III. Things have changed a bit. We've got some videos putting these together. I think we've got a playlist on one or both of our YouTube channels, either 4Before Diesel or 4Before Adventures. But things have changed a bit. And if you follow the instructions putting it together too soon, you'll have too much of it together and you might need to pull it apart again. So this is using the ridge mounting system, which I think is rock solid. It's the only way to go. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. Now, what comes with a platform here is these three mounting spaces, or whatever you want to call it, brackets, whatever they call it. Doesn't matter what they call it. In some of the instructions, it may just say use two each side. I'm just going to put in three each side. I'm going to use three each side for the ridge mount system, I believe, anyway, unless I'm wrong. But even if I didn't, I'm going to put three in there anyway, because I've got no other use for that third one. It's not going to cause any problems by being in there, even if I'm not going to use it. It's not going to rattle around. So we're going to put three each side. The first thing you do, you unpack it, you lay it out so it looks roughly like this. You'll see a few other leftover bits and pieces, and you just simply slide these pieces. They can only really go one way. You want the flat part to the bottom, and they're different at each end. So you're going to put three in each side. So I've done one side, I'll just do the other side quickly. And all just go on from one end, and doing it one-handed. Once you line it all up with one, again, we're just going to slide those up. Bit of a wiggle, one-handed's a little bit harder, but you know what I mean. It still works. One around about the front, one around about the middle, one around about the back. That's it for now. This is the hardware package that comes with the Titan tray itself. All really well packaged and clearly labelled. But hopefully this video makes it easier for you. This is the ridge mount system. There's a whole lot of hardware there, and I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. But basically, this next stage, these things, they're like spaces, whatever the case may be. I don't know what they call them. There's a parts list here, so I can officially tell you they're called interlocking blocks. There it is. I just want to get those three interlocking blocks in place before it's too late, because if I get this thing together, I can't get them in, and that's what I'm saying. You might need to pull it apart again if you don't follow this step. So 1, 2, 3 in those gaps. I'm just going to slide those on just like we did with these. Okay, these interlocking blocks are actually really good because they actually tighten up once they're locked in. So you want to have those halfway along. You're going to need a 4mm hex, right? Hex 4, Allen key, whatever. Slide it, measure it up halfway along. 1, 2, 3, and we won't lock them in yet because we've got some other stuff to do. I like to leave everything loose till we know we're in the right spot. Right, we just got those three sitting very loosely in position. We're just getting things organised at the moment. They've certainly done an upgrade. Instead of the old clips and bolts, these what they call plank nut plates. So we're going to get those in next before once again we forget and get it all together, and we need these in there now. There's going to be 4 of those at each end, and that should just slide into the aluminium extrusion at each end, and that's going to be what these bolts go through to mount, connect it all together. You might be able to notice now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, one for each of those. Let's come up to this end. They slide in really easy. Piece of cake, a potato cake, all right? Just grab this. Doesn't really matter which way it goes. Pick whichever side you prefer, and just slot them all in like that. For now, that's all you need to do. Easier if you're not holding a camera. At some point, these plastic corners, and they're really strong, need to be put in place to hold it all together. And I'm going to suggest doing the short ends first, because that's going to lock those plates in, and that's why it was important to get those plates in first before you put these on, because once they're on, you can't get those in afterwards. You get what I mean? A bit like these, you need to get them in there now. So this is for the ridge mount system. Like I said, 3 each side. And those 3 across there will lock it all, adjust it all up and lock it all up later. Next is getting the plastic into the corners there. Should be pretty straightforward. All right, so let's see how easy these go in. I've just got it sitting in what I think is place, rubber mallet. That's it, that's what it looks like when it's in, simple as that. $3 rubber mallet at Bunnings if you haven't got one. In the tool shop, Craft Right, El Cheapo. That's what you want, just a rubber mallet. Now the other end, it popped in place pretty easy. I just want to tap it all the way home. Beautiful, look at that. It's even got my footprints on. I'm not too worried about that because soon enough we'll be on an adventure walking around up on the roof tying down swags. It's going to vary a little bit how easy they go in, just between a little bit of 0.001% manufacturing tolerance, because this end, they just went in really easy. My footprint again. It just went in, they went in easy, you know, they just almost fell into place, tap, tap. It's the rigidity of holding the unit together at the corners. It's quite strong, but it's not what holds it together. What holds it together is going to happen soon when the bolts go through here into those plates, and that is the next step. So what I'm going to do is bring it all together, the plastic in each end, and then they'll line up and the bolts will go in. Let me get it all in place and I'll show you what it looks like. That end there, I just lined it up, gave it a gentle tap in with a mallet. It's just sitting there loosely, and I'll repeat the same at this side. You don't need to see me do it. Piece of cake, a potato caker. Literally get down here, line it all up, and it'll just about fall into place. You can see it that in there. Just need to grab that rubber mallet. So I'm not rubber malleting my hand. Very user friendly so far, easy to do, especially if you follow my videos. So subscribe, turn the bell on, and you'll get the shortcut, the easy way first on all these jobs. As you can see, piece of cake, a potato caker. I'll put that end on, gentle tap. So what I did, I just put my boot against the middle here, because it sort of keeps bouncing back a little bit. Gentle tap, go to the other end, gentle tap. Next thing you know, it's all together. We want it all the way in, so those corners are nice and flush when we tighten up these screws here. The bolts, we've got to line these up now, push those over into position, the holes will line up, and the bolts will go in. That's what we're doing now. I'll get the bolts sitting in position. Should I clean up these bloody footprints? It looks bad, doesn't it? Without reading any instructions, I'm going to take a guess that these are the bolts, these are the washers, these 6 nuts and washers and drop and turn bolts are going to be to do with mounting that to a roof rack. So we're going to grab these ones here and these ones here, and hopefully my working it out reverse engineering is as good as the instructions that were proper. Just always leave everything loose till you got them all started. You can see I put 1 in each plate. Going to go to the other end and do the same. They're just finger tight at the moment. Same MH4 hex. All right, people, it's looking good. At this point, you don't have to worry about which is front or which is rear. Those 3 middle interlockers are locked in, but these, they all still slide to the positions that you're going to be mounting. It does slide, believe it or not, but anyway, it's just embedded in the cardboard. So the 3 at each side, they slide. I've tightened these up. How tight, you ask? Using the light duty impact driver. Just bip, 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 a couple of bip bips, you know, a couple of duggers. But I suggest I did that for speed and just check them by hand. Torque specification on something like that, I reckon you could go to about 15 to 20 Newton meters on these end ones. Somewhere there would be the number. They're pretty small. I haven't thought that through, so check if there's torque specs with the package, but wouldn't be too worried about it. But what you could do, what I didn't do, because I'm going to test it out without the Loctite, I recommend you put Loctite 243 on these threads, because they're not Nylox and they haven't got spring washers, and I'm not saying they're ever going to come loose or they need it, but put a bit of 243 on there. That way you can get them off if you need to. So on those 8 threads at each end, 16 of those. I doubt you'll need that on this. It's not imperative anyway. These ones, when you nip them down, you'll see the gaps in the middle there just close up. But I suppose the advantage of watching and listening to a mechanic or a vehicle technician do an installation on accessories, it's not just some installer, it's actual, watch what you're about to find out, right? So 1, 2, 3, this is going to give it good rigidity, right? That's what it's there for. Much improved on the last one, and the last one was rock solid as far as I'm concerned, which is why I got another one. But when you tighten these down, because if you loosen them, this top part's separate to the bottom part. It can be out of alignment, you know what I mean? It can be sort of not quite, just make sure you got it nice and in line. Just as you tighten that up by hand, wobble it back and forward so you find the center position so you know it's perfectly lined up, because you don't want it to be, say, a millimeter or 2 this way and you tighten it down and then it rattles and it straightens out and then it's loose and then the bolt falls out. You don't want to lose it. So you know what? Put a bit of 243 on those as well. But the big tip is, for watching my video, to keep those top parts nice and straight with the section below it, because yeah, it could be out of alignment, you know, depending how much you loosen those off. I loosen them off a fair bit to help them slide up and down. Probably didn't need to, but it makes it easier to get them on the ends. Overall, easy job. If you watch this video 2 or 3 times, You're going to get this thing together in about probably 15 minutes, and that's ready to put it on a ridge mount, which will be in a separate video. We've got to prepare the vehicle. I just wanted to get the tray sorted out. That's done. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, and we'll have more. And remember the playlist. We've got a Rola playlist if you want to have a look at that. If you happen to pick up one of the older racks second hand, nothing wrong with those. They're all very good. It's just like every quality product. Sometimes things just get better. And this is a little bit better, and it's probably a little bit easier to put together with those plates, and definitely better quality than instead of having those clips. But anyway, that's a video. Catch you on the next one. See ya.